Billionaire discovers Black MAID'S touching bond with his disabled daughter, a life-changing truth. As the evening sun dipped below the horizon, casting golden hues across the manicured lawns of Maplewood Acres, Tom Harrington sat in his leather office chair, surrounded by sleek gadgets and corporate accolades. He was the very essence of the American dream, a self-made billionaire. Yet, within those four walls, an emptiness echoed louder than the ticking clock. In the adjacent room, Lily, his 10-year-old daughter, painted her world in vibrant colors, yet so many remained unseen. With her disability confining her to a wheelchair, Tom was proud of how strong she was, though he scarcely acknowledged the gaping void in their emotional landscape. Enter Anna, the maid he hired to keep up with his sprawling estate. She came from a modest background, her skin a beautiful shade of mahogany, her determination woven into every fiber of her being. With a heart dedicated to her work, Anna initially seemed just another cog in Tom's machine, barely causing him to lift an eyebrow. But then magic began to unfold. As Anna swept the floors and folded laundry, Lily's laughter filled the house when Anna, with her brilliant smile and patient hands, began to engage her, teaching Lily to craft and letting her explore music turn mundane afternoons into joyous adventures. Who could have guessed that a black maid would become a shining light in Tom's daughter's life? One day, as Tom worked late into the night, he caught sight of Anna humming softly as Lily glued beads onto a colorful piece of art. His heart stirred. Was he witnessing something beautiful? Deep down, dark clouds of doubt loomed over him. What if this enchanting bond was a threat to his controlled, perfectly polished world? As days passed, Anna and Lily's friendship blossomed. But before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Just days later, the community faced an unexpected crisis. Storm clouds gathered ominously as the weather spiraled into chaos. As people in the neighborhood panicked, Tom attended a meeting intended to address residents' concerns. Sitting near the back, he watched Anna, her voice steady and filled with conviction. "We've got to help each other," she urged. Something struck a chord within him, a buried guilt and reflection he couldn't ignore. In that moment, he felt the weight of his choices. He watched as Lily, with a sparkle in her eyes, reached for Anna's hand, a connection Tom had overlooked. Questions warred in his mind. Did he care more about appearances than the bonds formed by love? A storm of internal conflict rose within him. He was losing sight of what truly mattered. With Anna lovingly supporting Lily, Tom couldn't help but wonder, would he transcend his fears or barricade himself in his own fortress of ambition? The tension couldn't have been more palpable. Little did he know, the unforgettable journey towards redemption and personal growth had just begun. Would he find the courage to embrace the life-changing truth? As rain began to pour, splattering against the windows with relentless fury, Tom's mind raced. He struggled with the realities of his life crashing down around him. The things he had built to protect Lily only seemed to isolate her. He could still hear Anna's voice ringing in his ears, urging the community to come together. The meeting wrapped up, but Tom lingered behind, observing the faint glow of warmth radiating from the families that huddled together in groups, exchanging ideas and plans to help one another. He felt an ache in his heart. Was he not a part of this community? Shouldn't he, too, lend a hand instead of retreating to his isolated mansion? As he stepped outside to catch a breath of fresh air, Anna emerged from the crowd. Water dripped from her hair, but her eyes gleamed with determination. "Mr. Harrington," she greeted him, a hint of surprise lacing her voice. Have you talked to anyone? I know, he hesitated, suddenly aware of the weight his own silence had carried. I was just thinking. Thinking about what? She pressed gently, her hands moving to shield her own body from the chilling rain. My daughter, he said, longing for connection. About what you said inside. Anna's expression softened. She needs you, Mr. Harrington. More than all of this, she gestured vaguely to the neighborhood. Love means being present. Sometimes being there is all they need. He watched her for a moment, her words sinking in like rain seeping into thirsty soil. Could it really be that simple? You're right, he conceded slowly, his resolve hardening. I need to change. Anna smiled, a flicker of warmth in the storm. You can start by being there for her. That bond you saw wasn't just magic. It was love, real love. Tom felt a familiarity with her words. Despite their differences, her understanding pierced through his facade. Suddenly, it struck him he had been so consumed with building his empire that he had forgotten to nurture the most important aspect of his life, his family. The storm outside intensified, but a spark started to ignite within him, overshadowing the turmoil. He sensed change brewing, not just in the sky, but in himself. Will you help me? Tom asked, his voice thick with urgency. Teach me how to connect with her the way you do. Anna regarded him with a blend of surprise and admiration. Of course, but it's something you must truly want. It's about being vulnerable, showing your heart. His heart raced at the thought of exposing his insecurities. Yet, as he thought of Lily, he knew it was time to break free from the chains of his old fears. I'll do whatever it takes, he affirmed, determination flooding his voice. Tom turned to look back at the house, the light from Lily's room bright and inviting. It felt like a beacon, calling him home to where love thrived, where genuine connection could flourish. The distant rumble of thunder mirrored the storm brewing within him, a powerful prelude to change. But just as hope began to swell, a loud crash erupted nearby, shattering the moment. Alarm bells rang through Tom's mind. What had happened? Was it just the storm, or was it a grim reminder of the unexpected chaos to come? Looking at Anna, his heart raced with anticipation and a hint of dread. He understood now. The real challenge was just beginning. Would he still be brave enough to face it? The storm unleashed its fury as Tom and Anna rushed towards the sound of the crash. The air crackled with tension, and the chilling rain stung their faces like icy pinpricks. Tom's heart pounded in his chest, thoughts racing as visions of chaos swirled in his mind. Do you think it's serious? He asked, anxiety threading through his voice. Anna shook her head, determination stealing her features. We need to find out. Stay close. They pushed through the throngs of people lingering on the street, umbrellas turning inside out, and raincoats soaked through. A gathering crowd had formed around a fallen tree, one that had crashed into the side of an old, run-down house belonging to the Lopez family. Tom's breath hitched. He knew of them. They were struggling, just like so many others in the neighborhood. Voices rose above the sound of rain. Someone's in there, cried a woman, her face pale with fear. They were in the living room when it happened. Without thinking, Tom and Anna slipped through the crowd. Tom felt a surge of adrenaline. He had avoided involvement for so long. Maybe now was the time to truly act. Stay here, he instructed Anna as he hurried towards the side of the house. He could hear muffled cries coming from inside. Tom's heart raced as he pushed open the door, the wood creaking ominously. The living room was a mess of scattered furniture and rain-drenched debris. Through the chaos, a small voice called out, filled with both fear and courage. Help! I can't get out! Stay calm! Tom shouted back, crouching down to see a young girl, Rosa, one of Lily's classmates, trapped in a corner beneath an old bookshelf that had toppled. Don't worry, I'm here, he reassured her, his voice steadying as he approached. He could feel Anna's presence behind him, a grounding force amidst the rising chaos. With urgency, Tom cleared away the debris, his hands trembling as he fought to keep focused. "Rosa, can you wiggle a bit? I'll get you out." She nodded, her wide, scared eyes brightening at his presence. Working together, he managed to slide the bookshelf away just enough to pull her free. The moment he lifted Rosa into his arms, a mixture of relief and pride surged through him. "You're safe now," he whispered, brushing her damp hair from her forehead. The weight of his own fears momentarily faded, replaced by something lighter connection, purpose. As he turned to leave the house, he spotted Anna at the door, eyes filled with warmth and admiration. The storm began to lighten, a hint of hope peeking through the clouds. "Thank you," Rosa exclaimed, her voice small but powerful. "You saved me." Tom knelt down, still holding her. "No, you showed so much bravery. We're a team, right?" Tears brimmed in his eyes, but he blinked them away, savoring the warmth that bloomed in his chest. This was what Anna had meant about love being real and present. As he stepped back outside into the clearer air, the cheers and claps of encouragement from the gathered crowd enveloped him. They had come together to help, just like Anna had said. He felt his heart swell with a new kind of resolve he could truly be part of this community. But just as his spirit soared, he noticed Lily standing at the edge of the crowd, her expression unreadable among the smiles and cheers. Anxiety twisted in his gut. What would she think? Could this small act of bravery truly bridge the miles of distance between them? He moved towards her, almost hesitant, but the need to connect pushed him forward. Would she see the change in him? Would she realize it was more than just an impulse? The crowd faded away, leaving only the two of them standing against the stir of lingering raindrops. "Dad?" Lily's voice broke through the moment, a hesitant sound that held both apprehension and hope. Taking a deep breath, he stepped closer, ready to face whatever came next. Would this moment unlock something new between them? As he opened his mouth to speak, a sudden explosion of thunder echoed, and a flash of lightning illuminated the sky above, signaling that their fight for connection was far from over. Tom felt his heart thump loudly in his chest as he stood before Lily, the air between them charged with everything left unsaid. He opened his mouth, but the words caught in his throat. Instead, he inspected her face, searching for clues. Was she angry, scared, or maybe just confused? "Are you okay?" he finally whispered, taking a cautious step toward her. The crowd, with its comforting claps and cheers, faded into a dull roar behind him. The rain had become a gentle drizzle, but the storm inside him raged on. Lily nodded, though her expression remained cautious. "I saw you in there. You were amazing," she said, her voice softening. But Tom could sense something unspoken lurking beneath the surface, something deeper than gratitude. "I just did what anyone would do," he stammered, wiping off the dampness from his face that had nothing to do with the rain. What was the point in chasing bravado, if it only made him choke back his feelings? "No, Dad. You really did something. You saved her." Her eyes sparkled with a mixture of awe and concern. "But what about Mom?" His heart sank. The name of his late wife hung between them like a ghost, a constant reminder of regrets and unresolved feelings. He wished he could wrap his mind around how to explain his actions. Could he ever express that saving Rosa had meant more than just a heroic act? It had been a signal that he was finally trying to be present. "She would have been proud of you," Lily continued, her voice gaining strength. "Of both of us." He fought to keep back the wave of emotion that threatened to overtake him. Would it help or hurt to share how he had been losing his way, so caught up in his grief that he had almost forgotten how to truly live? "I want to be better, Lily," he confessed, his voice trembling. "Not just for you, but for everyone who needs me too." The honesty bubbled up, raw and unfiltered. Just then, Anna approached, her smile radiant as she joined their circle of emotional vulnerability. Tom, Lily, that was incredible. What a brave thing to do. But even as she celebrated, her eyes flickered, sensing the deeper discussion brewing. Lily glanced between them, and then looked away, her face a portrait of conflict. "Are you going to be there for me from now on?" she asked quietly. Tom opened his mouth to reply, but before he could reassure her, the distant rumble of thunder regained intensity. The clouds that had begun their retreat now threatened again. "I'll always be here," he said finally, the conviction spilling from him. He meant it more than ever. But doubt crept into his mind. Would it really be enough? Would this torn relationship withstand the storm of their past? "I want to be your dad again," he added, his voice barely above a whisper. Lily searched his eyes, looking for certainty. In that moment, it felt like time stood still, where the unrelenting rain drummed against the pavement could hardly compare to the weight of their shared silence. Finally she nodded, a shy smile creeping onto her face. But just as Tom felt a glimmer of hope, a massive shake sent vibrations through the ground. A truck, upended and out of control, careened into the alley behind them, shattering the fragile moment. "Dad, look out!" Lily screamed as chaos erupted around them again. Tom instinctively threw his body in front of Lily, ready to protect her from whatever danger lay ahead. The sky echoed with a violent roar. Would this new challenge push them apart or bring them closer together? As debris soared, a fierce determination surged through him. Was he truly prepared to face whatever came next? With the clouds growing darker, a question hung in the air. Could love really begin to heal the wounds of the past? The debris scattered like confetti as Tom's heart raced, instinct overpowering thought in that chaotic moment. He shielded Lily, clenching his jaw as he felt the weight of impending danger loom over them. An overwhelming instinct pushed him to protect her at all costs. "Stay close," he shouted, his voice cutting through the din of panic surrounding them. A storm was brewing in more ways than one. It was just the weather threatening their moment of vulnerability. With Lily clutching his shirt, they ducked behind a large dumpster just as metal clanged dangerously close. The scene was surreal. The world that had once felt steady now swirled in unexpected chaos. Shouts permeated the air, mixing with the heavy sound of the rain pounding against the pavement. Tom's mind raced back to safer times, slow Sunday mornings, and shared laughter. He wanted to reach out and pull those moments forward, but life's unpredictability had other plans. "Are you okay?" He checked again, his voice steadier now. He needed to anchor himself for her. She nodded, eyes wide, yet haunted by shadows. "I'm fine, just scared." The truth in her eyes struck him. Fear was just about the truck. It breathed life into the years they had spent tiptoeing around their emotions, avoiding pain instead of confronting it. He squeezed her hand, ready to face this new storm together, whatever it might bring. The truck lay abandoned, wheels still spinning, its habitat transformed by the chaos. Emergency lights began flashing as sirens wailed in the distance, an urgent reminder that help was on the way. Relief cut through the tension momentarily, but Tom knew they had bigger mountains to scale. "Let us get out of here," he said, glancing towards the alley's mouth before they ventured out. The crowd was now in a frenzy, people scrambling to help or simply escape the scene. As they emerged from the dumpster's shadow, Tom sensed a shift. Lily's hand slipped into his, her grip firm and reassuring. It was as if she had declared, "I am here with you." Together, they stepped forward, navigating through the remnants of panicked people. Then Anna was there, rushing toward them with frantic energy. "Are you two all right?" Tom nodded, heartbeat still loud in his chest. But he caught a glimpse of her confused expression, an unspoken question rising between them. Did she see the longing in his eyes? Did she know about the battle raging within him? "Just trying to hold it together," Tom replied honestly, surprised at his own vulnerability. "Tom, it'll be okay." "You'll figure this out," Anna assured gently. It felt like a lifeline thrown into turbulent waters, yet he knew the storm would subsist long after the debris settled. "Truth is," Lily chimed in, her voice small but steady, "we have to learn how to be a family again." The weight of her words crashed over him. Tom tilted his head, seeking her gaze. For a moment, surrounded by chaos, they had both heard the call of change. But would it be too late? As the sky continued pouring, the rain became a cleansing ritual, washing away fragments of a past he couldn't escape. And yet, there was a spark of hope, too, blooming amidst despair. "I'm ready to try," he stated softly, feeling the storm inside him begin to quell. Maybe they could forge a new path through this tumult together, but would they have the courage to confront the deeper storms that lay ahead? As Tom looked at Lily, determination intermingled with fear, a question haunting him. What if facing the past was the only way forward? He took a deep breath, preparing for the next hurdle to leap over. With each drop of rain that splattered around them, he clung to a single possibility. Could this moment ignite a change, finally weaving their bonds back together? The loud crash of thunder echoed again, almost mocking his hope. What awaited them just moments behind this small spark of light? Tom's eyes darted around, searching for an escape in the chaos enveloping them. The flickering lights and ominous sounds of the crowd reminded him of the fragility of life. Each heartbeat felt like a drum, echoing his fear of not just the moment, but what lay ahead. "Anna, we need to move to a safer place," he suggested, trying to keep his voice calm. The shadows of uncertainty clung to him, and every second spent in that chaotic crowd felt heavy. "Look!" Anna interrupted, pointing down the street where bystanders had gathered with their phones. "They're filming. We should probably get out of here before the police show up." Tom nodded, a surge of urgency propelling them forward. He felt Lily's grip tighten around his hand, a reminder of the unspoken pact formed between them. They pushed through the throngs, weaving between wide-eyed onlookers, racing for the edge of the crowd. As they turned a corner, the alley opened up into a quieter street. The streetlights cast a muted glow, illuminating the rain-soaked pavement. It felt surreal. The air was heavy with the smell of wet concrete, and the distant wails of sirens still echoed. "Are you both okay?" Anna asked once they had slowed their pace, her eyes scanning them for signs of distress. Tom nodded, but was still too shaken to speak. The slow realization that this world they lived in could change in an instant drew him closer to Lily. The bond between them, once frayed, began to feel like a lifeline. "I'm okay," Lily said softly, her voice steadier now that they were away from the scene. The relief in her eyes filled him with hope. "Honestly, I'm just happy we're safe," Anna added, her usual upbeat demeanor momentarily dimmed but not extinguished. "Me too," Tom replied, meeting Anna's gaze. "But we really need to figure out what comes next. We can't just pretend that everything is fine." "You're right," Anna said, folding her arms. "We need to talk about what happened and how we can help each other." The thought of discussing the incident stirred anxiety in Tom. They were living between reality and the past. Discussing it could break down walls, but it could also remind them of everything they had just survived. "I think we need to look beyond this moment," Lily chimed in, her wisdom surprising him. "What matters is us moving forward. We can't let fear win again." Her conviction forged a determination within him. "So how do we start?" Tom asked, hoping to steer the conversation away from doubts. Lily took a breath, and for the first time, her shoulders seemed to lift. "Let us create a plan. A real plan for us to face our fears together." Tom felt a swell of pride and love for her resilience. "And we do it together. No one feels alone." Anna smiled, the flicker of hope reigniting in her eyes. "I'll help. We can rebuild this as a team." But then, the shadow of the earlier chaos crept into Tom's mind. Would they truly have the courage to face their unhealed wounds? The past whispered to him, creeping into their moment of determination. As they stood together under the faint light, the world felt heavier again. He still felt the weight of uncertainty pressing down the need to confront the real challenges that lay ahead. Maybe I should reach out to a counselor, Tom suggested hesitantly. It might help us navigate through all this. Lily's hand tightened around his. It's a good idea, Dad, but can we face the past first? The question hung in the air, thick with the tension of unspoken words. Would they have the strength to confront their own hidden hurts and past mistakes? It was one thing to decide to change, but another to tackle the truth of their history. As they turned to leave the quiet street, the storm faded in the distance, leaving behind a lingering tension. Would they truly be ready to reshape not just themselves, but their family? Tom felt the answer lingering just out of reach, like lightning flickering just beyond the horizon, hinting at the intensity of transformation. He took a deep breath, hoping that this moment could lead them to the truth they all so desperately needed. But what truths lay buried under the surface, waiting to shout themselves into the open? Tom led the way, Lily's hand gripping his tightly, as they walked further down the now empty street. The sirens had faded into the background, but the echoes of their experiences lingered like a heavy mist around them. He glanced back at Anna, who was lost in thought, her brow furrowed with contemplation. Silence wrapped around them, a stark contrast to the chaos they'd just escaped. "Do you think they're okay?" Anna finally broke the quiet, her voice barely above a whisper. Tom nodded, even though he wasn't sure. "I hope so. But we can't focus on that now. We have to focus on us." He stopped walking, taking a deep breath. "We have to face whatever is holding us back." Lily shifted, her eyes wide. "I want to face it, Dad, but what if it hurts too much?" Pain flickered across Tom's heart. He imagined all that they had gone through, all the hurt that had been pushed under the surface. "I know it will hurt. But I think it's necessary. We need to heal." Together, Anna added, stepping closer. The unity in her voice felt comforting, like the warmth of a shared blanket on a cold night. Tom looked at the two of them and felt a surge of gratitude. Yes, together. We will support each other. That's the only way to do this. "Then let us start now," Lily suggested, her youthful determination shining through her fear. "I want to share what scares me the most." He could see the glimmer of bravery in her eyes, and it pulled at him. "Okay, let us sit for a bit. We can talk about anything, anytime. No judgment, just honesty." They settled down on a bench just outside a small cafe that seemed to be closed for the night. The soft glow of a neon sign illuminated their faces. "All right, I can start," Anna said as she tucked her hair behind her ear, her nerves bubbling to the surface. "That day, when everything happened, I felt so helpless. It was like the ground was falling away beneath us, and I couldn't protect you guys. It made me feel like I had failed." Tom's heart twisted at her words. "You didn't fail, Anna. You were there for us. You stood by us when it all happened. That's what mattered. But I wanted to do more. I could only watch like a bystander." Tears glistened in Anna's eyes. It hurt to see that vulnerability. "Sometimes, just being there is enough," Tom replied, wishing he could erase her pain with words alone. Lily squeezed her hand. "I felt scared. I didn't know if we'd be okay. But I also felt strong, knowing I had you both." Tom nodded, deeply impressed by his daughter's courage. "You are stronger than you think, Lily. We're all stronger when we face our fears together." A moment of shared silence enveloped them like a gentle caress. Then Lily hesitated before speaking again, her voice a whisper. "What about you, Dad? Are you scared?" Tom paused, feeling the weight of their eyes on him. "Yes, I am. I've been struggling with how to be a good dad during hard times. I feel like I sometimes let you both down. But we'll figure it out. We'll take it step by step, Anna encouraged. Like a team sport. Yeah, that is right. A team. The word filled Tom with a renewed sense of purpose. Something shifted in the air. The fear that once loomed over them started to feel manageable. A knot in him began to unravel. As they sat there, a siren wailed again in the distance, pulling them back into reality, but this time, it felt less overwhelming. They were not alone. They were choosing to be brave together. Tom looked at his girls. Next, we need to talk about what we want in the future. What can we do to make sure we're okay moving forward? Before anyone could answer, the unmistakable sound of laughter erupted from somewhere nearby, drowning their seriousness in an unexpected wave of joy. What was that? Lily asked, a smile starting to break through her earlier worry. Tom raised an eyebrow, curiosity piqued. I don't know, but should we check it out? As they stood up, ready to move toward the unknown, a flicker of hope ignited in Tom's heart. What if this new twist led to a healing they never expected? The night was still young, and they were ready for whatever came next. In the distance, laughter rang out again, pulling them toward a moment of unexpected healing. What secrets awaited them in the laughter's embrace? As they followed the sound of laughter, it grew louder, echoing in the night air like music. The streets felt different now, almost alive with possibilities. Tom exchanged glances with Anna and Lily, each face reflecting curiosity wrapped in a flicker of joy. The laughter led them to a park, lit up with strings of twinkling lights overhead. A group of children was gathered, playing some sort of game involving colorful balloons. Their carefree voices rang out, giggles erupting like bubbles, reminding Tom of simpler days before chaos clouded their lives. Can we join? Lily asked, her eyes practically sparkling with excitement. Tom hesitated for just a moment. I don't know if we should, there's a lot going on. But as he watched her bounce on her toes, he felt the heaviness of the day starting to lift. Okay, let us check it out. They approached, and the cheerful chaos of the children enveloped them. A little girl with curly hair dashed past, her balloon bobbing behind her as she laughed heartily. Moments like these felt fleeting but precious, and Tom felt himself wanting to hold on to them for as long as he could. See that girl over there? Anna pointed to the little curly-haired girl. She looks like she's having the time of her life. Tom smiled. Yeah, she does. They all watched as she spun in circles, her laughter spilling over like a fountain. Can we play with them? Lily asked again, bouncing with anticipation. Why not? Tom replied, feeling a surge of spontaneity. Let us jump in. At first, it was just a few tentative steps, but soon they were swept into the game. Tom found himself tossing a balloon back and forth with Lily, who squealed with laughter every time he managed to catch it, and every time he missed too. The freedom of the moment spilled over their earlier worries, like a gentle tide. Anna joined in as well, chasing after the balloons and the kids, her laughter ringing out like a bell. Watching them, Tom felt a warmth spread through him. It was a reminder that life was not just about facing fears, but also embracing joy when it appeared. Amid all this, a woman stood off to the side, watching the scene with an appreciative smile. Her gaze caught Tom's, and she walked over, a soft aura surrounding her. It's wonderful to see a family enjoying themselves like this. Tom smiled back. Thanks. I think we needed it. She nodded knowingly. Sometimes laughter is the best medicine. What do you think they're all laughing about? Anna pointed back to the children. The woman shrugged, a glimmer of joy in her eyes. It doesn't matter. Their happiness is contagious, don't you think? Yes, Tom agreed, suddenly aware of how the burdens he'd been carrying were still there, but felt lighter now. As they played, a boy in a wheelchair joined their circle, rolling up with a grin. Mind if I play? He asked. Of course, Lily chimed, eager to include him. They quickly incorporated him into their game, tossing balloons with everyone surrounding him, laughter echoing and filling the crisp night air. Tom watched, a lump swelling in his throat. There was something striking about how naturally they all came together. It felt like a new bond forged in freedom and joy, breaking through the walls that had once confined them. But just as a surge of warmth filled his heart, a sudden recollection struck Tom. What if we could bring this joy back home? He thought. What if laughter could bridge the gaps we've been feeling? It was a powerful thought, one filled with potential. Tom turned to Anna and Lily, who were both grinning from ear to ear, their spirits high. Hey, how about we make a plan for our own family fun night? He suggested, excitement bubbling within him. Lily's eyes lit up. Yes, we can do it every week. Before the plan could go any further, a piercing siren rang out once again, cutting through the laughter. A palpable tension returned to the air, reminding Tom of the world they could not escape entirely. Maybe next time, he said softly, realizing they had made memories tonight but still had a journey ahead of them. As they walked back toward their home, the laughter still echoed behind them, a reminder of what they were building together, a quiet strength kindled for moments of joy. But lingering in Tom's mind was a question. What would tomorrow bring for their growing bond? Hope flickered within him as they stepped into the night, ready to face whatever came next. The next morning, the sunlight streamed through the curtains, casting gentle patterns on the floor. Tom woke up with a sense of anticipation. The memory of laughter and balloons danced in his mind, rekindling a warmth he hadn't felt in a long time. He sat up, took a deep breath, and glanced around the room. The day's plans swirled in his mind, filled with the promise of joy and connection. Downstairs, he found Anna sipping coffee at the kitchen table, her gaze lost in thought. She looked up when she heard him shuffle in, her expression softening. "Did you sleep okay?" "Better than I have in ages," Tom replied, grabbing a mug from the rack. "I was thinking, maybe we could put together a list of things we want to do for our family fun night." Anna smiled, her eyes brightening at the idea. "That sounds great. What do you have in mind?" As they tossed ideas back and forth, Lily appeared, feet shuffling as she wandered in. "Are we talking about fun things?" "Absolutely. Want to help us?" Tom asked, his heart lifting. Her enthusiasm was contagious. Lily's face lit up, and she raced to the fridge to grab a marker and paper. As she scribbled down ideas, Tom watched her, realizing how this simple act was stitching their family back together. It felt like they were crafting something real, something they could hold onto amidst all the uncertainty. They settled on a few ideas, like game nights, cooking new recipes together, and even going for hikes. Full of excitement, they planned their first family fun night for that Friday, an eager buzz crackling in the air. Tom caught Anna's eye and grinned, feeling more connected to her than he had in a long time. But in the back of his mind, a shadow lingered, a hint of anxiety he couldn't shake off. The sirens from the previous night echoed in the corners of his thoughts. The world outside could disrupt their bliss in an instant. "It's great to think about fun, but we need to be realistic," he said, his tone softening. "Things aren't perfect. We still have challenges." Anna's smile faded a little. "I know, but maybe this is how we navigate it. One fun moment at a time." Her words struck a chord. It felt simple yet profound. The world might try to pull them down, but they had each other. Tom felt a flicker of determination ignite within him. That afternoon, their plans turned into action as they prepped for the upcoming fun night. They baked cookies, their kitchen filled with the sweet smell of chocolate chip dough. Laughter bubbled between them, and for the first time in a while, Tom felt the threads of their family weaving tighter. As they finished up, there was a knock on the door. It jolted Tom from his thoughts. He glanced at Anna, who looked equally curious. Who could that be? Tom wiped his hands on a towel and moved toward the door. Maybe it was a neighbor, or someone selling something. But as he opened the door, his heart sank, seeing a figure from the past he thought he'd left behind. It was a man dressed in a crisp suit, holding a briefcase. The brightness of the day seemed to dim. "Tom," he greeted solemnly. "We need to talk." 1,000 questions raced through Tom's mind. Why now? What did this mean for them? He took a step back, feeling the weight of uncertainty creeping back in. "Can it wait?" he asked, knowing it couldn't. As he stood there, the sirens of reality blaring once more, he realized their moment of joy was about to become a collision with the past. How would they face what was coming? The air thickened with unresolved tension, leaving Tom with a sinking feeling as he considered what this unannounced visit might mean for all their plans. Tom stood at the door, uncertainty pooling in his gut. The man before him, a reminder of the corporate world he had tried to distance himself from, represented a threat to the fragile progress he had made with Anna and Lily. The sunlight that streamed through the doorway felt cold now, casting long shadows across the entryway. "Can we talk inside?" the man asked, and it wasn't really a question. Tom nodded, stepping aside as the stranger crossed the threshold. "What is it about?" Tom's voice sounded distant even to him. He led the way to the living room, where the warm glow of the afternoon sun contrasted sharply with the chill that accompanied his visitor. "I'm from the Harrington Group," the man replied, placing a briefcase on the coffee table. "We need to discuss some recent developments. Changes you need to be a part of." Tom shifted uneasily. How could he focus on business when just yesterday he had rediscovered laughter, belonging, and family joy? The life he had built was slowly transforming, and now it felt threatened. "I'm not really interested in business right now," Tom responded, crossing his arms defensively. "I'm focusing on my family." The man hesitated, taken aback. "That's important, Tom, but these changes could impact your financial security as well as stop," Tom interrupted. "I need a break from all that. I'm working on being a better father. That's what matters now." He could see the brief flash of surprise on the man's face, then something else, understanding perhaps. It was a reminder that there were still connections to what he had been that he couldn't completely sever. "I can respect that." The man nodded slowly. "But you also have responsibilities. You can't ignore them. We need direction from you." Tom felt that old tension rising again, the ambition he had nearly buried wrestling to the surface. "I know I have responsibilities, but maybe it's time to redefine them." Outside, the sun continued to shine, reminding him that light still existed, even in dark moments. He thought of Anna and Lily, their laughter, their trust, and how he had vowed to be there for them. If he were to redesign this life they shared, it couldn't mirror the past. They were going to build something real, something authentic. The man sighed, gathering his things as if he sensed the conversation winding down. "Just know, we're here when you're ready to talk." Tom's heart felt heavy as he watched him leave. A part of him recognized that he couldn't just walk away from everything he had built. But a larger part, a more genuine part, knew that his relationship with his family was worth folding the other life away for good. Later that evening, as they prepared for family fun night, Tom found himself reflecting on the day. He gathered Anna and Lily in the living room, the comforting smell of cookies wafting around them. "Hey," he started slowly, "I had a visitor today, someone from work." He took a deep breath. "I want to talk about how important this time is for us, and how I want to reshape my responsibilities." Lily's eyes widened, and Anna looked at him with an encouraging smile. "What did they want?" Lily asked, her curiosity piqued. "They wanted me back in the game, but I told them that I'm not finished building our family yet." He dropped to one knee, meeting their gazes directly. "I don't want to lose this. I want to be present." Anna's expression softened, relief spreading through her like warmth. "You're making the right choice," she affirmed. "Investing in each other is its own kind of success." "Yes," Lily added, bouncing with enthusiasm. "We can build our fun night plan together." The moment crystallized in Tom's heart. He felt lighter, the worries of the world around him beginning to dissolve. Together, they launched into their plans, brainstorming the things they would do together. Game nights, cooking nights, stargazing events, all of it interwoven with laughter and connection. Their collective voice creating an atmosphere so bright it drowned out the shadows of uncertainty and responsibility. They laughed over silly ideas, and every guffaw sent waves of joy through the room, cementing their bond further. In that moment, they were not just a father, a housekeeper, and a daughter. They were a family whole, vibrant, and ready for anything the world threw at them. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the shadows began to lengthen, but in the Harrington home, light flourished. Tom smiled, realizing he was stepping into a new chapter where connection defined success. And from that day forward, he committed to facing every challenge ahead, not alone but as a team, with the two people who mattered most. If this story touched you, subscribe immediately to the channel so you won't miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and support us. Comment below your reactions and feelings about the ending. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Your support means everything. Don't wait not even one more second to share. You need to subscribe now.